Hello, this is Antoine Rogers with not an episode of Out and Up, but something new we're bringing to you called Friday Spotlight, where we're just simply highlighting either the career of maybe a young middle schooler, or in this case, one of our former guests. And so on this very first Friday Spotlight, we have the very awesome, hailing out of Norcross, Georgia, Mr. Tre Phelps. Thank you, Tre, for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Tre, of course, was on, I think, last year, our second show of the season. And man, even him moving from the second show of the season to now the first guest on Friday Spotlight, it's a story of what he's done even in his career. So Tre, of course, is a baseball player that plays for Georgia Premier Academy in Statesboro, Georgia. And we're just going to get into some of the things that's happened for Tre since him being on the show in the first season. So you ready to get into it, Tre?
Yes.
All right, Tre. So let's first start. Like I said, I just joked about you moving up even in your stats. Tre, on the first season, Tre was ranked in the state of Georgia. He was ranked, I think, 13 overall and number 2 in his position. Tre, where are you at now in Georgia? Let's start with Georgia.
I'm 1 in my position and 5 overall.
That's awesome. That lets y'all know Tre been putting in work. And nationally, Tre was ranked somewhere around 96 in the country, and I think 8 in his position. And what are your rankings now nationally, Tre?
32 and I think 3. 32 and 3.
Wow, that's awesome, Tre. Tre, man, what's some things you just been doing over the last, I'll say 6-7 months since we last spoke, just to kind of just play on the level that you're playing right now?
Working. Work. Repeat it. Find something you like and repeat it.
That's good. That's good. So Tre is on it. Also, the first episode we recorded with Tre, we discussed some of the schools that he was kind of looking at the time, or schools that had interest or he's had conversations with. And I think there were amongst like Clemson, Georgia, Oregon, South Carolina, Pitt, and I believe Florida State were some of the schools he had already been in conversation with. But I want to say like a day or two after the show aired, Tre went on and made his announcement, his commitment. And Tre, let everyone know what school you will be taking your talents to.
I'll be attending the University of Georgia.
Wow, Tre. So for you, what was it that kind of closed the deal when it came to Georgia?
Really just the visit. When I got there, it was like, this is the place. This is where I want to go. And I didn't want to take any other visits after that.
That's good. That's good. So I was looking, I think in the last week, and Georgia right now, I believe, is ranked somewhere around 20 in the nation. How does it feel to know? First, Tre, tell us what class you're in. For those that didn't remember from the first season and don't know, what class are you in high school?
2023, a junior.
All right. So Tre is a junior. So in a couple of years, Tre, you'll be able to go on to a university that's doing well in baseball this year, pretty good as far as ranking. Like, how does it feel to know that you're going to be able to be an addition to what the program, I'm sure, is trying to do as far as winning the big one?
It's exciting because honestly, I just want to make it better. I know that's what's going to happen. I'm just ready to make it better. It's exciting though.
That's good.
That's the big stage, just like a dream. It is a dream.
That's good. That's good. So you talked about in the first season, looking at going into sports psychology. Has your thoughts changed as far as what you're looking at getting into?
I'm still locked down on psychology.
That's good. That's good. So for some, COVID has changed things as far as practices or games. Did it affect you at all in the last year as far as, your seasons and the different outlets that you've played on?
Over this past year, really only from the scout side. Certain scouts didn't come out because of COVID, but plan wise, we got the plan in. It was 2 years ago to where our season got cut short.
Okay. All right. So I was just talking to a guest on this last episode, awesome young gentleman that plays for Grambling State in Louisiana. And I asked him just in regards to when players are playing on a high level, being able to play D1 ball, or and yourself moving on to play for University of Georgia, and like how important is it for the young player, to play traveling ball? And what he mentioned was he advised most players, if you're trying to play on the highest level, to get involved with, the whole Perfect Game outlet. Could you talk a little bit about your experience and being a part of Perfect Game?
Honestly, as much as it sucks, you can be the best player ever and not go to a single perfect game, showcase, or tournament and will not be noticed and wondering why. Um, I would say perfect game is really big when it comes to being noticed. PBR, perfect game, PBR, future stars. Those are three really big showcases or outlets you should just be at to get your name on the map. They're really good. Those three are really good.
That's good. That's good.
Oh,
So
MVP, that's another big one.
what's
MVP.
the name it again?
MVP.
Okay, all right. So in the since we've talked, you're now early in your season. How's the season going for you in your school right now?
We're actually not doing too bad. I think we're like maybe 11-4, something like that, 12-4. Getting ready to go into our first home series against P27, but we're hot right now. Out of our last 7, we're 6-1.
Wow, that's awesome. And so I happened to catch a glimpse of some highlights. We were just talking about Perfect Game, and so your school was a part of a Perfect Game showdown. How did you all do in that Perfect Game showdown?
Those were actually our last 7 games, and we played them in 3 days. We won the first 6, lost the championship to P27, and it was 8-5, scored 8-5, and it was hard, but we played good.
That's good. That's good. And Trey, I was looking at a clip. I think you hit a double on the play and brought a few people in, and it looked like you were limping a little bit. Was there something to that limp going around first base?
Oh no, it was about 2 weeks ago at Prospect Select tournament. I kind of like landed on my leg weird. Went to the doctor. He was like, I have like minor hyperextension. He should be able to play by PG Showdown. PG Showdown comes, I'm not gonna lie, I'm about 85%. But I'm gonna play just because of the tournament it is, and I know I can come through for my team if they need me.
Right.
And I played and it was hurting. And so then I went after, and now I'm gonna be out for about a month. That should be it.
Wow. And so in that tournament, I saw a post. It's funny because I went to go look for the post and I don't see it anymore. But someone posted like you had a show of your own during this tournament. I'm gonna take this first part and say at the end of the day, Trey, you got MVP. And I think the numbers were something like 18 RBIs, 2 home runs, and you batted 632 during that tournament. Like, what was that feeling like on a big stage like this showdown, pretty early in the season? Like, what were you feeling in the midst of having a leg that was slightly injured?
You want to be honest? It was my teammates that kept me going because, honestly, at the beginning of the season, I was struggling. You come into PG Showdown hurt. I don't know what I'm expected to do. And then they all talked to me to like, keep going, Trey. We know how good you are. So then it was like 1 hit came, 2 hits came, then a home run came. And I'm like, okay, I got this whole tournament by myself. But I mean, most of it came from them. Like, I can't have RBIs without my teammates. Only 2 of them were myself. But I mean, besides my teammates, I don't know. It's just I got that confidence, and then I just kept going.
That's good. That's good. It's good always to have a team to kind of push you and rally you to the moments, man. You did an awesome job. I saw it again on social media outlets, and I think the exact quote was Tre Phelps had his own event. it just spoke of the showcase that you put on and the work that you put on during this tournament. I think is awesome, man. Now, how's things going in school? I mean, I know you still just in your junior year. How are things going as you round the corner on these last 2 years before you step on to that big stage? How are things going?
Honestly, I already feel like I'm on a big stage. This academy ball I feel like I'm on a big stage. The games are crazy. The energy is crazy. The team's crazy. Everything loud. But school-wise, that's always going to be a thing as a priority. But school just always came easy. So, I mean, keeping A's, maybe B's, mostly A's for sure.
That's good.
Doing
That's
that,
good.
and then went to baseball.
That's
like
good.
At school and then practice. If you don't go to school, you can't go to practice.
That's good. And so awesome job Tre is still doing in the classroom, because as you know on this show, our push is, man, we understand everybody will not have grades on the same level. Some people struggle with different things, but our goal is just to encourage you to do your very best. So Tre, man, what do we have to look forward to in these last 2 years of high school and you on the next level? What do we have to look for in Mr. Tre Phelps being a household name?
It's going to be a surprise. It's going to be a lot.
Okay. All right. Say that again. I'm sorry.
I said it's going to be a surprise. I got a lot.
That's good. That's good. Where you're at today, I'll say this as we get ready to close. Where you're at today, 10 years ago, did you see yourself being on this stage right now?
See, I was 7 years old. Yes.
You did?
For
That's
sure.
good. So as you see, if you dream it and you put the work in, because I'm sure Tre will let you know he's put in a lot of work to be here. You put the work in, you can accomplish those things that you want to accomplish. So as you all know, this is our first Friday Spotlight where we went back to talk to one of our first guests in our first season, Mr. Tre Phelps. And again, our goal is to encourage you to achieve your very best outside of the game. I'm Antoine Rogers.
I'm Tre Phelps. Let's go out and up.